Hey, before we kick things off, we do want to talk about the presenting sponsor of this show, and that is none other than Miller Lite. Listen, it's Labor Day weekend.
What else are you going to be doing other than drinking Miller Lite?
It's Labor Day weekend, Dave. You're right. You're just going to be drinking Millers, hanging out, bonfire, watching football, grilling. Oh. Davey Tomahawks is going to be drinking.
I might go
Treat
with the
yourself.
Tomahawk.
There we go. Tomahawk, Miller Lite in the left hand or the
One
right
last
hand?
toast to summer.
Well, it would be left hand for the Tomahawk.
Left hand. All right. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Whatever you're doing, ride out this last weekend of summer with Miller Lite, the true beer that tastes like beer. And why would you get beer if you don't want it to taste like beer?
It's the absolute best. The pinnacle, the peak. They
100%
perfected it. That's my favorite kind of beer. I don't like any other kind of beers.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you, brother. So make it Miller time all season long. Get Miller Lite delivered right to your door. Visit MillerLite.com/redline. You're not going to want to leave wherever you are. And you can find it anywhere that sells beer if you don't want to get it delivered. But celebrate responsibly. Nobody be driving. Holiday weekends. Never do that.
Put your feet up and some beers down and relax.
Exactly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. All right, bang, bang. It's the mid-show. Presented by Miller Lite. We have UFC welterweight, the number 3 ranked
soon-to-be champion. Just say it, Ed.
Soon-to-be champion. I believe in that man. Chicago born and bred, Bogan High School, Belal Muhammad joining the show. Mm-hmm. Later on, in the meantime, you're stuck with us rats. Myself, Chief White Sox, Dave, and I guess Danny's here too.
You guess?
Yeah.
I am. That's a fact. I'm here.
How's everybody feeling? I feel pretty good today.
You look good.
Thank you.
You're all dressed
I feel
up.
fucking awesome, Ed.
Thank you, Dave.
Are you applying to the look good, feel good mentality by wearing that Roback polo today?
I had a meeting downtown, so I wore my Roback polo, of course. I love Roback.
Mm-hmm.
It is the best.
It is.
It is the best.
It is great. They're not even an ad today, and we're still saying they're the best. But yeah, I think it's just the holiday weekend. It is kind of getting a little dreary though.
Yeah,
but I like
it was bad.
Like you're looking at that. This was the board game. You're looking at that dust. It's at the bottom. It's really.
It makes me really sad.
You didn't have a little pep in your step when you walked the dog this morning, where it's a little cool out.
It's beautiful weather out right now, but like we were talking about Tedeschi Trucks a minute ago. It was yesterday. We went to that concert, and that was April.
Yeah, but it was April or March.
Well,
whatever.
Spring.
Yeah. So what?
It just goes by too quick.
Life's flying by.
You can't at least have some type of passion or nostalgia or love for summer.
I've had a great summer. This is one of the best summers I've ever had.
Oh, nice.
But at the same time, I like football, and then I saw that video of Bedard and McDavid working out together at BioSteel. I'm like, all right, like I'm fucking ready to like get this show on the road with hockey and everything else. So I'm ready. I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for pumpkin patches and flannels and apple ciders and Christmas music, and it'll be great.
You feel the same way?
9 hours of watching an iPad on your wall.
I'll have you know that I'm on my way to getting a 65.
Oh, they got you.
You've been saying that for weeks. It's very easy to go to Best Buy.
Maybe I got a connection to get one for free. Maybe.
You've said that for weeks.
We're working out a delivery date. I've been kind of a busy guy.
I don't know. I think he's.
Why would I lie about that?
I think he's sandbagging a little bit.
He's horsing
I
around.
think he doesn't. I don't think you even want a bigger TV.
I don't need one. I don't know if I would go out and get one. I really don't. I think I'm fine with 50. But if someone wants to throw me a 65, I'll take a 65. But I didn't want a 75. I think it was like 75 or 85, whatever I wanted. And I'm like, so those are too big because that one out there is too big.
Why do we have police presence in the office today?
Come to get you
because we are hiring new security guards.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Good. Is this like an interview process?
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome.
Why do you think Mike and Pat are here?
I was wondering. I didn't know why they were here.
Yeah, so we're new security for the office.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I did have people reach out to me asking if they could be security.
Yeah, so did I. I passed it along. But you got to let the pros hire the pros.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. I mean, I will.
Those are big shoes to fill.
Oh yeah, Mike is the best.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, but we're in good hands. I was talking to a couple of them over there, and I was like, all right, where are we from? Mount Greenwood right away. I was
Okay.
like, all right, you guys are in.
Check.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, there was
Where else would they
a couple
be from?
other
You're
neighborhoods.
in. It's Mount Greenwood, or where I'm from.
Yeah.
That's about
Yeah,
it.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I only want my security guards from Mount Greenwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mount Greenwood or Hiawatha Park, Edison Park. That's
Yeah,
it.
That's the list.
That's it.
Yeah.
What do you guys got anything cooking this weekend?
I haven't figured it out yet, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
No trip away, nothing.
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
No, Lake
Nothing.
Geneva.
Yeah.
It's too far.
I was there last weekend. I didn't even talk about that last week. I feel
You talked about it plenty.
did I? Well, I
On
rubbed it
another
in your
show.
nose.
Yeah, it was on a different show.
Yeah. We went to had a wedding up there. Good time, great wedding. And at one point, a couple of us branched off. We went to a bar after, and there was another wedding reception.
You ran into a friend of mine.
Yes, I did.
Well,
I did.
you've probably met her before.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I met her before. She did a video at the old office.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't know if it was the wedding she was at or somewhere else, but there was a separate wedding away from the one I was at. And when we were walking in, we met the bride, and she was like very unhappy,
Oh,
and it was kind of tough to see.
why was she unhappy?
I don't know. Well, first it was like my friend was genuinely fucking around. He's like, "Oh, are you blank so and so? Like it's your wedding," and he nailed her name just on a whim.
What was it like?
It wasn't that common. I don't really
Katie?
want to say it because I don't
Okay.
like it. Obviously, you could narrow down how many weddings. There are probably like 5
Yeah.
weddings in Lake Geneva last weekend.
Was it like rarer than Rebecca?
Like Katie?
Probably on Rebecca level.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably not rarer than Kate.
Michelle.
Yeah, it's like, I don't even know.
What are we talking about?
You just pulled your buddy. You guessed the name on the limb again.
Hold on.
We're like
Keep
on
going, keep
we're like
going.
on the Richter scales of names,
Yeah.
and now I'm like so far deep that I don't know how to get out of it.
We're tiering names.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how
It's
to
not
get
a
out of it.
Beyonce.
We
but,
should rank names for a snake draft.
Thanks,
one day.
that'd be
Hot
good.
girl names.
Oh,
There's a few. I got one.
That's what do we got?
Bianca from 10 Things I Hate About You. I always just when the first time I saw that movie, I'm like, that's a hot chick name.
That's too much.
Dude, I don't know if I've ever met a Bianca.
I don't think I have either.
Danny
I don't know that I
has.
have.
I know some Biancas. Well, can you go on? Why was she mad?
Yeah. Why was she mad?
She's
why
like,
was-
"Oh, you blank and blank's wedding?" She's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, how's it going?" It's like, and she said something like, "Not great" or something like. The groom was nowhere to be found, and it was like, "Damn."
He was hanging out with the fellas. What's wrong with that?
I don't know if he was, Dave. I don't know where he was,
Runaway groom.
but it was. I don't know. It was tough to see.
Was she like?
What
Was she just visibly frustrated, like
Yeah.
drunk assholes or was she like left at the altar?
No, like she definitely got married, and they were because it was the after party at this point.
Yeah.
It was at a random bar.
she got married, but she might have regrets.
Or I would guess all things pointed to he probably had a few too many and like was maybe passed down the room, or
Yeah.
maybe he, took a
could
bus
happen
the
to
casino
anybody.
or something.
Yeah.
Like, but there's no casinos up there. But did something like that. Like he misbehaved after the.
Even if you're like at a different bar than her at that time.
That's
you're
his
getting-
wedding too.
Hey.
He's allowed to do as he wants.
I think if he gets through the reception without any issues, that's fine. If you get back, I feel like that's got to be the longest day ever. I don't think the couple is required to go to the after party.
What time was
No.
it at?
It was. I think it was before midnight. Midnight, maybe.
I'd be in
Okay.
bed.
Yeah, it was probably midnight. Maybe it was midnight. I would assume. Maybe 1-ish.
I think you have if you're
Yeah, he
if
was
you're the groom, you have to kind of dedicate the whole day.
no,
Commit.
Do you
Yeah.
have to go to the after party?
What do you
Yeah.
mean? No,
that's
You
his
can't just
magical
say-
day too.
Good luck telling that to your future wife.
Not future. At that point,
Current.
they're married.
Yeah,
no,
I-
I'm saying, Dave. Good luck
What?
telling
Yeah.
that to your
You're
future
not just
wife.
what you're just gonna turn and be like, Bianca, sorry, I'm gonna go hang with the boys.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that. But I think if the guy is like, look,
If I feel,
I'm fucking
I feel
wiped.
like it,
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't just
that's
run.
my magical day too.
You got a lot to learn, boy.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, Dave. You're gonna on your wedding night. You're gonna go have a night with the fellas on your wedding night.
The post party, fuck yeah.
I don't think there's a.
Haven't you seen The Hangover? They went through the
That's
fucking
the bachelor
Polar-
party.
That was
Yeah.
after the wedding.
But they're in the same vicinity.
He was with his wife.
Yeah, but he
and he was
with the
also
fellas.
on a roof for like
I'm not
48
saying like,
hours before that.
leave the venue, but like you can fuck around. It's your wedding too.
But you're saying the husband was nowhere to be found.
I didn't see him, and the groom's like the bridesmaid was like right towing. She was in tow with the bride, and she was like, "Yeah, like don't ask.
Don't
It's
ask.
not good."
You got to be in the same venue as her the whole night.
Yes. dude.
Yes.
Yeah, she was nervous, and then she walked in. She like sat at a table for a little bit, and then she like made a lap, and then she left.
You're on call.
Yeah.
You're on call the whole wedding.
Because I really,
Correct.
my fucking, curious ass. I was looking around. I really wanted to get to the root of the problem.
Eddie pulled out a little notebook.
Yeah.
I was really wanted to know. So if
Do you
anyone
do
was
a
like,
stakeout
if anyone
in the-
knows the wedding they were talking about, DM me the
Ed,
guy.
I'm
honestly-
surprised you didn't stake out the hotel. Be like, I got to see how they look coming out.
Do you want me to ask? Maybe
I
my
was
friend
tired.
was in that wedding.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll talk
Okay.
off camera. We don't want to blow up someone's whole wedding.
Yeah.
Also, funny story. At the wedding I was at, one of the groomsmen came up to me. One of them who I didn't know at all. It was his family of the groom. Came up to me and was like, "Hey, dude, I got I just got a cameo from White Sox Dave picking my fantasy football order or something." And he showed me it, and it's Dave looking blacked out from the Barstool Awards.
That is not
I took a picture.
blacked out.
I don't know if you were blacked out.
That
but-
is literally first of all, it wasn't a cameo. He just DM'd me and asked me to do it.
Yeah,
so I'm
maybe
like, sure.
you don't look that drunk, but like
That's slanderous. It was.
Oh, that's not even making the calendar.
it made me laugh though. But like, all right, I caught him on a good freeze frame.
That doesn't.
you could
That
do
also
that to
doesn't
anybody.
look post party.
That wasn't.
That's
I
pre-party.
filmed this when after I got back.
His tie is still done.
I went to get that tie at the mall, and I walked into a side room, and that's where I filmed it.
Will you let me have this?
Blackout drunk.
But I just picture you after you didn't know how to work the elevator,
Maybe
like you just
sounds
waltzed into
like
your
Eddie
room.
was so blackout drunk that he
Yeah.
couldn't put together when that picture was taken.
Dave just snuck in the janitor's closet, started doing cameos.
Yeah, will you let me have this?
No, blackout drunk. I wasn't blackout drunk at any point of that day.
Slightly buzzed.
You were a little buzzed at the end of the night.
Couldn't work the
I
elevator.
had maybe 5 drinks that entire night.
I
Until and through the show. At the end of the night, sure, we were drinking,
All right,
but
there
like
you go.
I was still in bed by midnight.
I would say at the bar, you came up to me and you were like, "I'm fucked up."
Oh, then yeah, but I wasn't drunk. Francis handed me a joint, and I
Okay, I didn't
obliged
know if you
him.
want to see that. Yeah, you were.
You were dry, drunk and high.
Eddie's
Yeah.
trying to make dry happen still.
I think that's called crunk. You nerd.
Thank you. Crossfade.
I don't
is-
think
Isn't
you
it?
want to say crunk though either.
Isn't that what it is, Danny? Drunk and
Yeah, but
high?
isn't that like an
People are not-
expression from like
It's
15
Lil Jon.
years
People-
ago?
People are also saying it can mean like, I don't know, getting crazy and getting drunk at the same time, but crossfaded. A dry is not one of the options nonetheless.
I've never heard that before.
no, it's
Heard
just
dry?
it's an
I've-
Eddie thing.
it's-
DRIGH.
Yeah, Eddie's the only one. He's
No,
trying.
my friend used to get dry.
That's like, how do you do, fellow kids? You want to get dry?
Upstairs apartment, Panama Street. My guy used to get dry.
So if you're like, oh, like if you're in college, you're like, this is a dry dorm, and you're like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting dry.
It's a
was
dry
actually-
campus. They get drunk and high all the time.
It was actually kind of funny how like Francis like tries his damnedest to give this like high and mighty, aura about himself, like the Harvard, comes from money. He bought that weed off some dude on the street like any asshole.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, it was like he was part of the
Was it good?
crowd and everything.
Was it good bunk or what?
They gave him some oregano.
I think that's an oxymoron. Ed.
Oh, sorry.
Isn't bunk bad, Danny?
Was it Dro or
Dro is
was it
is
Dro
kind
or
of bad.
Kush?
Dro's just weed, I think. I think bunk's bad weed.
That sounds about right.
Bunk in general is bad. You can
Dro
say
is
bunk
like
about anything.
a
That's
weaker
bunk.
Yeah,
weed.
that's true.
It's good weed, but it's just a little weaker.
I thought
Are you a Dro guy or a Kush guy?
I like Dro.
Yeah.
Kush can be a little too much sometimes. You don't want to get.
I don't know.
You
Got
don't
a
want to
guy
get
at
wasted.
River Grove with good
Where,
I'm
Dro.
such a
where are
fucking
we
nerd.
on your smoking situation?
he
I
never
gotta
had.
hit up Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll's the new target.
Okay.
I gotta make it happen. I got Jelly.
Have you reached out
Have
since?
you ever tried to roll a joint?
No.
I tried to not too long ago for the first time ever
Hey,
because
Dave.
I'm also a loser.
I don't care about that right now. I want to know
He was done with this thought.
No, I just asked him a question. If you had to hit up Jelly Roll,
So after we went to Nashville, I did DM him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a busy man. He didn't respond.
okay.
But because we were going back and forth a little bit, but then it kind of stopped there. Now he's on tour, and I'm kind of worried that I missed my window.
Should have
Because
smoked when you had the chance. Smoke them while you got them.
Does he come
That's
here?
what I did.
At all?
I know he goes to Indiana because I was looking at stops where I could like meet him
He's not gonna be playing at the rate.
and do some dro. Yeah,
No, he's too big for the rate. They get washed up 1990s one hit wonder. No, they did have Cascade.
Cascade or Cascada?
Good question.
No, it was Cascade.
Oh, okay.
But I do
Not
like
every
that
time we
song.
touch.
That's the
That was like the original EDM song,
It kind of was, yeah.
Was it?
from what I remember. What was
Turbulence? No?
nailed it?
Sorry.
Yeah, Noblesville's the closest one.
Noblesville? Yeah, I knew he played like a...
Is that by Indy?
Might have played Moline or something. I don't know.
So why you want to smoke with Jelly Roll? Why didn't you just do it when you had the chance?
Yeah.
Pussy.
Because I want to do the henna face tats. Like I want to be like I want to.
Yeah.
I think you're just making excuses, and
I'm not.
We're too
I'm
afraid.
like ready for this. Like I'm like I want to get this over with.
You're like
Yeah.
a virgin about to become deflowered.
Yeah, like I'm literally only holding on for content at this point.
Why?
He's
You
gotta
you're
guess.
getting offered drugs like every weekend you're turning down? You're like, hey, sorry,
Probably.
just for jelly.
After when fucking drug addict Dave sent me his tape, I said no to that.
You know, there is a thing. There is a thing about.
Never even done a drug.
There's a thing about what?
I don't know if you call it urban legend, but at least for me, like you don't get high your first time.
Yeah, I have heard that. That's a concern, but
I think that's people who just don't really know how to inhale.
I don't know how.
What
You don't know how to
Just like
inhale? You
breathe in.
No, it's different. Like you get in your head about it.
You do.
Yeah.
If it goes down your throat, you did it right.
I agree.
No, you can hold it in your mouth, spit it out.
Well, that's
I
not
used
going
to-
down your throat.
I
Why don't you
remember
just take
I
a
was,
gummy? You can do that.
I was sick for something, and they gave me some kind of respiratory thing, and they gave me an inhaler, and I like couldn't do it.
Y'all can't breathe.
Couldn't breathe.
Y'all can't breathe.
Yeah. So
I feel. I mean, it's a week after. I don't think we covered the rewards at all. But did anyone have anything on that?
no. Did we talked about him almost tripping up the stairs somewhere?
Yeah,
It
stool
was on like
scenes.
stool scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of stairs. There were more stairs than what you would have thought. So I don't.
One too many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that what happened? You just jumped that last one.
It's a good catch.
Yeah, it was good balance.
Yeah. I got quick feet, light on my toes.
Quick feet. Fuck, I did have one note from it, but I can't remember. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. So the Jelly Roll weed sesh is on. It's on ice right
I
now.
kind of think you might need a preseason match before you do the Jelly Roll weed.
I feel like we can't do the preseason. Like that's
Dude, it's
You're-
that weed is so like
And you will feel like just as high the second time as the first too. Like it's not like once you do it, you're like, oh, I can handle it from here. The first couple times you're gonna be feeling like you're in Super Mario or something.
yeah. It's like give me Khabib. Like I don't, like, knock me out. I don't know what to say.
Khabib Kush.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I've obviously smoked weed before. His weed's different. Like it was different. It was different.
different.
Yeah.
Sour D.
Yeah.
Different.
Like I felt like I could. Like I felt like my feet were glued.
Yeah, you said that. You
Yeah.
like cement shoes.
Yeah.
That's a concern, dude.
That's what I mean. I feel like you might need to. It's
Yeah, and you're gonna try doing content while you're like that. You're getting face tats while the first time you're.
is anyone else
High.
on that list that
What
you
to
would
smoke
smoke with? Yeah,
Oh, it's Joey Diaz, but he
I know he's out.
was not interested.
Right. What? But like, let's say, like Joe Kim Noah, or somebody like a.
Yeah, I love Noah.
Would you?
You
Smoke?
would have to.
That's my guy.
I would make you.
That's like my favorite bowl of all time.
Yeah.
So
You would
yeah,
have
he
to.
would probably
Okay.
qualify.
Anybody else that you can think of?
He was like a legendary Chicago weed guy.
Legendary Chicago weed.
Kanye,
guy.
would you smoke weed with Kanye or
Is he-
President
is he
Obama?
Yeah,
Or
he inhaled.
like Cole Komet?
I can't imagine Cole Komet.
No, he doesn't smoke
Yeah.
weed. He's too.
What a name
Yeah,
to bring up for this. We're missing people though.
for sure.
Like there's definitely some.
Chance the Rapper.
What about Jeff Samardzija? I heard he was a big toker.
Oh,
back in the day.
biggest pothead ever.
That's what I heard.
Jake Arrieta is supposedly a big, like the whole Blackhawks. Like they're like, I don't know about now, but back
Yeah.
in the day, you know,
Polo G.
is there any other? But like Noah is the guy.
Yeah.
For
I gotta
me for that.
give Belushi a nod after how fucking high
Oh,
he
he
was on
was
this
He
show.
was
Insanely
in a
high.
cloud.
Yeah,
He literally pulled like, is that a butterfly?
Yeah.
There was a bald eagle or
an
something.
eagle.
Yeah.
Can I say something? I think he might be annoying to smoke with though.
You think so?
Yeah, like Jelly Roll is so chill. Like,
Jelly's the man.
yeah,
He is the man.
Who would you not smoke weed with?
Literally everyone else on the planet, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's literally it's 8 billion people.
Yeah.
That you
We're
would
missing some people though. Like I don't even know if I like
Lil Durk.
little Dirk. That'd be kind of sick. I'd like that. Probably not. I don't even know. Like Wiz Khalifa would kind of be.
I was gonna say if it's someone like not from Chicago but still just notorious in the Wii game.
Yeah.
Wiz,
Willie
Snoop.
Nelson.
Would you smoke weed with Willie Nelson? He's like 90.
You have to.
But they're handing you some 90% THC
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Our
But,
little,
like,
our
what do you
little
think
Ed is going to be on the ground.
What do you think Jelly Roll had?
Yeah, it's probably up there.
Yeah.
He's got that high stuff. Yeah. What's fun? I'm like I DM sometimes with a guy who's like got big time weed shops in like California. So
He wants to take your cherry.
yeah, we got guys like all over.
Well,
the place.
I'll have a friend in this office tomorrow he's out of music now and he's just in weed game. He's in the weed game.
Can we tease this?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Kenny Carkeet
Oh,
of
okay.
AWOL
I
Nation.
thought we were talking about who you're interviewing.
Oh, we're interviewing Corey Taylor of Slipknot tomorrow in studio.
On the guest list.
Barstool backstage, but yes.
You changed the name?
Yeah.
No shit. Why'd you change the name?
Isn't it on the guest list like what the interview segment's
that's
called?
the segment, yeah.
Got you.
Trying to segmentize it.
Is he bringing any
Weed?
product?
Not that I'm aware. Kenny?
You're a weed guy.
Or you mean?
I would imagine he will have a shit ton of weed on him, yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Any other no plans this weekend?
Depends on what Kenny brings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm planning on doing, Ed?
What are you doing, Dave?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm going to lay around.
That's what
I'm
you're
gonna
supposed
sleep
to
in.
do. We've been working so hard.
Yeah,
That's
Well,
what
I
Labor
also
Day is
just
all
watched
about.
Office Space. I've watched 2 movies recently that I hadn't seen in a long time. I watched Dewey Cox, Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. It's been probably 7-8 years since I've watched it, and it's every bit as funny as I remembered. And then Office Space, all-time classic. I love that movie, and I love the actor that plays Michael Bolton. He should have won an Oscar. He was so great in that role, just miserable fucking dork. I love that guy. I've never seen him in anything else either.
It's an unbelievable movie.
Since we're a Chicago-based podcast, should we talk about how Friday Morning Swim Club got canceled?
Yeah. Sorry, Dave.
For those who don't know, I think people met at like 6 in the morning on Lake Michigan.
Don't
and
tell
there
me.
was like 500 people who would all gather, bring floats, just do a Friday morning ritual. And I guess the park district somehow shut it down.
Don't tell me you're unaware of this.
Well, you brought me up like I'd do it.
I know. I was kidding.
I didn't know it got shut down.
But you knew.
Yeah.
You know what it was, though, right?
yeah, I
it's
used to
just
live right over there.
There's a bunch of crew of people
Yeah.
that jump in the lake.
They're also saying like
Work
shut
on
down
Friday.
for the season. It's like, well, yeah, summer's also like over.
No, it's going to be hot. It's going to be 95 degrees next week.
But like pools
Is it?
generally close after
Labor
Labor Day
Day, yeah.
anyways.
You can stretch it out.
Nah, but it
You
turned
could
into a
probably
thing
stretch
where
it
like
out to
they wanted
October.
them to have like lifeguards, like they didn't have the proper flotation devices, whole bunch of shit.
That's
Now,
a
listen,
bunch of bullshit.
I've
Fuck
never
that.
been.
They're just fucking.
Can't have any fun anymore.
Yeah.
I've never been to Friday Swim Club.
Me
Probably
neither.
will never go.
I
But
wouldn't either.
I stand with Friday Swim Club because let people have fucking fun.
Yeah.
There was a
It's
bizarre.
that-
Has anybody
Slow
ever
down.
gotten hurt?
Probably not, but I think it's. I don't know.
There was something
But, like,
about
they-
them swimming too early. Like you're not supposed to start swimming that early in the lake.
Is that
or
one that
yes,
tide's
it's not
like
open
lowest?
yet. That was the
Yes.
3 things. It's not open yet.
There was a crazy quote like they're bringing prohibited floats.
That's what I said. Yeah, they're not bringing the correct flotation devices. They're the videos. It's
And there
crazy.
was no lifeguards.
It's cool. Like, listen, if the people want to go hang out in the lake, that's great. Like,
Little
you should.
sunrise swim? Fuck yeah.
Chicago.
I don't see what's wrong with it. There's plenty of other worse things that these people could be doing.
Yeah, and then they were too early, and there were no lifeguards. Listen,
We need less people telling us what to do.
yeah, in the
Less
summer,
government. I agree.
Let's storm North Ave Beach.
and there should be summer rules for things, like in the city. In my
Like
home.
what? Everybody gets a 4 a.m. liquor license?
Yes, everyone gets 4 a.m. at liquor license in the summer. There just should be little shit like that where it's like you could play music a little longer.
Right. If you live next to a
Yes.
bar, you just
Yeah.
can't complain for those 3
Yes,
months.
exactly. Just let's hours just extend on shit like that.
Do you remember when that was why Chicago's maybe just been always uptight about the summer, even though they didn't have lights at Wrigley because the neighborhood was like, we don't want lights at night.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's
like everyone who was
crazy.
bitching about the Fall Out Boy concert. It's like, all right, listen,
You bought a fucking house in.
I could hear it from my back deck. It was pretty fucking loud.
but it's
it
like-
was like they were done by 11:30 or whatever at the latest. Yeah,
60,000 people were so happy.
let them have a night. I didn't care.
Yeah, it's
I was in earshot for sure.
yeah. I don't know. Regardless,
George didn't like it.
sure, I'm
They
sure.
had a lot of pyrotechnics.
I'm sure.
We'll pivot Friday morning swim club to Sunday night swim club.
Also-
Humboldt Park Lagoon.
Can I say something about these people?
No alligators.
Uh
They're-
oh, these people.
These people at the swim club that just there had to be how many people there?
Thousands.
A lot.
A ton. How the fuck do you let yourself get shut down? What are they going to do? Going to
Yeah.
ticket all those people will get in line to get your ticket for swimming?
It's a good point.
Tell them to fuck off.
Well,
And
we'll
a lot
see-
of people
point.
are in the water, but
We'll
it's
see
like
tomorrow. This is the first time it's been shut down.
they should just show up. I might show up just to say fuck city. You want to stand up against City Hall tomorrow, Dave?
I'm in. Actually,
I
I
think the
can't.
organizers have come out and be like, "Hey, like it's over. Like
What a bunch of pussies.
we're not dealing." Well, I think they just don't want to deal with.
But
it.
again, they keep saying it's canceled for the season. Does
Who's-
that mean it's coming back next year?
yeah, I'm sure they'll probably figure
Who
it
the
out.
fuck are? Yeah, we probably like have to pay for permits and do all. It's just a. Who is in charge of that? Everybody just show up. Just tweet it.
Yeah.
And just go to the lake. Go to.
I would love if like there was a riot squad out there trying to push people swimming on their like whipping pool noodles.
Yeah, when they
around.
have the Homer Simpson donut float wrapped around their waist, they're getting arrested.
What if you start
ru-
seeing like
rubber
Brandon
bullets?
Johnson? Where's the Lori Lightfoot thing? Like,
Cardboard cutout.
yeah,
we
cardboard cutouts.
threw it
Like,
in
oh,
the
I'm
trash.
watching you now. Remember when that she
Sneaky.
tried to shut down the beaches during COVID?
Yeah,
Well,
sneaky.
did shut them down.
Sneaky would be hilarious. People getting arrested in Homer
Floaties.
Simpson like, that's one of my favorite things when people get arrested on Halloween. You know,
Yeah.
like you got to take a mugshot looking like Scooby Doo. You know? It's incredible.
Or they see the police and they jump in the lake. It turns out to be like that viral Louisiana ferry clip.
Yeah, yeah.
Cops just swimming in the lake trying to arrest them.
My buddy got a drinking ticket on Halloween, and he was just like, "Hey, not so fast, Urlacher." He was wearing an Urlacher jersey. Like, it wrapped him up. He's like, "Not so fast, Urlacher."
Or like St. Patty's Day when they have like the clover stickers on their cheeks.
Yes.
During their mugshot.
Yes, exactly. Dave, if you ever get arrested and have to get booked, I would love for it to be in your leprechaun outfit. That would, could you imagine? That would be so good.
That would have. I mean,
Those
I
are
was,
the
I was
highest
getting
chances.
in trouble with underage consumption quite a bit when that.
Have you ever got a mugshot?
Yeah,
Yeah, public
fake
intox?
ID.
Oh,
Can we find it?
I don't. Well, I never saw it, but I was arrested and they took pictures of me. So it's somewhere out there.
That would be in the calendar for sure.
I had one. It
we
was.
got to find this now.
Yeah.
I'll dig afterwards.
All right, cool.
I might be able to
I think the internet might be better at digging though.
dig all you want.
Page County.
You're gonna see lots of underage consumption tickets. I never got a speeding ticket until I was with you last year. It was
For real? That was your first one?
First ever speeding ticket. Yeah.
Huh.
But other than that, just underage consumption, like 10 of them, legit, like 10.
Well, to switch gears a little bit, we will hop into the Belal Muhammad interview. If you guys don't know, if you haven't been following social, these two guys got pummeled by him with leg kicks.
Yeah.
Well, that hasn't been released yet.
It hasn't been released
We've
yet.
talked about it.
The
We-
video,
yeah.
video comes out tomorrow on our YouTube. So tune in for that. It's really funny, but
Oh, was it funny?
in like a sadistic way.
Yeah.
If you want to see,
Yeah, you're a sick fuck. I didn't.
Easily the funniest White Sox save challenge yet.
Is
And I haven't even seen the final product.
Yeah.
Funnier than the double wheelie challenge? The combo?
Yeah.
Bell Wheelie was
I mean,
incredible.
seeing people get hurt is undefeated.
yeah, it
They're
is.
gonna
I
laugh
love
every
watching people
time.
get hurt. Was there any point in the last few days where you'd be like standing normally and you'd feel like your leg was just about to collapse under you?
George darted for a squirrel, and like I legit almost fell.
Yeah.
Like I had to. Yeah, I just let the leash go because I like couldn't.
I've been doing that.
Yeah.
I've been letting the leash go when he yanks at all, because you can put all your weight on it, no problem. It doesn't hurt like landing on your foot. It's when you like twitch it a little bit or jerk it a
That's
little
what he-
bit.
Yeah.
It's just a shooting pain up your leg.
George Hill.
There was a moment when White Sox Dave, his face, it wasn't like, it just caves, like it's just squished. You ever seen Drop Dead Fred, that movie?
No, I don't think
You
so.
looked like Drop Dead Fred. If you could pull that up when you get a chance. Sorry, I know you're taking a picture. But you looked like Drop Dead Fred. But regardless, tune into that. It's great. It's going to be funny. And the interview with Belal was fun too. Great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I think
Chief's got his guy now. It sounds like.
I'll be following him.
Yeah, I think you guys will really, really enjoy
This
it.
is what you got to do.
Now
This is actually
anytime he beats somebody, be like, "Well, you went down to that."
yeah.
Like, I was doing
Anytime, or this is actually your weekend homework. Just I'll give you a starting point with the YouTube video. They'll be
there you go.
condensed.
That was White Sox Dave at one point.
That honestly, that's not a bad call. That's what my face looked like.
He was drop dead fresh.
The pain was so bad. I thought I had
You said you're gonna shit yourself.
I wasn't gonna shit myself. It felt like I needed to take a shit instantly.
Yeah.
And then I thought I was gonna puke.
All right, so let's get into Belal Muhammad before we do. And when we get out of it, we're going to get into Notre Dame, Bears, everything like that. So stick around. Enjoy Belal Muhammad. Before we get into it, though, we want to talk about ChevyDriveChicago.com. Listen, the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are proud to announce the new official partner of the Chicago Bears. They're it, Chief.
Huge.
It's them.
Yep.
Chicagoland. So tailgating this year is a lot more exciting. The all-new Silverado is what you need to kick off your Bears season. Head to ChevyDriveChicago.com to shop and find your local Chevy dealer today. A lot of road trips this weekend. A lot of people be going up to lake houses and whatnot, and or just getting around the city. Make sure you check out Chevy if you need a little tune-up before you head out, or maybe you're just going to buy that car today and you're going to take that brand new car on a road trip. So go do it. Silverado, Colorado, Malibu, you name it, tracks. Blazer.
The best.
It's all there. Just head to ChevyDriveChicago.com to shop and find your local Chevy dealer. Like I said, it's really a great site for you to work around and find exactly what you need. So go do that. Shout out to Chevy. And let's take it over to Belal Muhammad.
Whoosh.
All right, we are in the interview portion of the show. We are joined in his home gym here, Chicago boy and number 3 ranked welterweight in the UFC, Belal Muhammad. Belal, thank you for having us. We got a video dropping tomorrow on our YouTube where you beat the absolute shit out of these guys. But regardless, it's good to sit down with you, dude.
Appreciate you guys for coming, man. Yes, already fun. I already got my job done for the day. I'm cool with it.
Honestly, me too.
Yeah.
I might not speak on this interview. I might wince, but no speaking.
Yeah, if you see us wincing, Ryan and I, it's because we were taking low kicks from Belal Muhammad today. It was not pleasant. It was probably the worst pain I've ever experienced in my entire life. I thought I was going to puke.
And it was, for the people that want to know, listen, the people that watch, there's a lot of things. So White Sox Dave, he gets goaded into doing a lot of things, Belal. And this was his idea. He was super pumped to get over here. He knows your buddy Warren, and he's like, no, we gotta go. I really want to. You just get beat up by a girl. He's like, I'll have Juliana. I'm like, dude, Juliana will beat the fuck out of you. He's like, we gotta figure something out.
Yeah, Juliana's mean.
Yeah.
She'll hurt you. Yeah.
Yes, dude. So
That's actually the funny thing because Ed and I have met Curtis. Aljamain Sterling just had his fight last week. Juliana, you now, handful of UFC. I know Jamal Hill pretty well. You guys are all like the nicest people on earth behind the scenes. It's crazy because you guys are trained, born-bred assassins.
Yeah.
And it's so funny meeting you guys because like, should I be afraid of this person? No.
I tell people all the time,
Yeah.
I get that reaction whenever, man, you're so nice. I thought you were going to be crazy. I'm like, what did you think I was going to do? Hit you or something?
Kick you in the
I'm
leg?
Yeah, we're beating up each other so many times, so much at practice. I think it just takes all of our anger out of us.
Yeah. Would you say, 9 out of 10 are good people, or what do you think?
Yeah, I would, honestly, I haven't met really one fighter that I could say is really that bad of a person. Except for, you have the white trash guys like Sean Strickland or those guys like Kobe Covington, the dorks. But all in all, everybody else, pretty good guys.
Yeah. So we're in your gym right now. So you train here, this is your main spot.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
And how many people are out of Chicago now?
Out of this gym, honestly, this is definitely the best gym in Chicago. We got out of this gym, we've got 20 guys. 6 of them are in the UFC. So, we're a small gym getting built up. A lot of the teams in the Midwest, the better guys in the Midwest, they'll go to other gyms like to Florida or those places because they feel like they're the top gyms out there. But for me, I wanted to stay close to home, stay with the team that I have, build up the younger guys that I have. And I think that's where we're at now. We have a solid core of guys that want to see you win.
Now, you started getting into your backstory a little bit. I assumed you wrestled at U of I just because you had attended there and went to school there. Wasn't the case at all because, U of I, great wrestling program, Big Ten, good wrestling, great wrestling. But it wasn't like that at all. You kind of just picked it up after college a little bit. What you're 21, 22 years old?
Yeah. I literally didn't do no martial arts. I did 2 years of high school wrestling at like Bogan High School, south side of Chicago. Really didn't put no effort into helping the teams or anything out there. So I literally started my career 22 years old. I used to watch UFC.
Yeah.
Never did karate, never did martial arts. And then my old high school wrestling coach, Lewis Taylor, shout out to him. I saw him in the newspaper fighting for Strikeforce. And I just like messaged him on Facebook, slid in his DMs, and I was like, bro, you're a fighter? And he's like, oh yeah, stop by the gym. So whenever I come home on the weekends, visit my family, I would stop by the gym. He'll teach me a thing or two. Then I just started like snowballing effect, wanted to learn more, coming home more on the weekends, and just fell in love with it.
What year was that? So you were in college?
I was in college. I graduated high school 06, so 07. Probably started with him probably like 2010.
Isn't that crazy though? Like that was the path then. Like everyone assumes you wrestle because usually you can't. Like this wasn't really a well-known sport before that. So
right.
Like the people now have such an advantage to kind of get into the game at such a young age. You know, like 21, 22. That's pretty amazing that you've gotten to where you've gotten already. You know.
Oh yeah, man. I tell these guys like now that I see these young guys coming up, they've been learning striking since they were like 5 years old, 4 years old. The stuff they do is crazy, and now UFC is a real thing, right? So people now they assume that they could be a UFC fighter. No, when I was growing up, I never thought about UFC. It was either like boxing, basketball, football. Like I never thought UFC was a thing. But now these kids are growing up learning everything. Like they have to learn wrestling when they're 5 years old. In Russia, these guys have it in their curriculum that they have to learn how to fight since they're a child. So I started late. So now like
Spartans
that's why I
over
think,
there?
literally, bro, like these guys, they're so good, and you're wondering why, and you're like, wait, I learned it in school since I was like 2 years old. I'm wrestling bears and stuff.
Yeah.
But for me now, like I feel like I'm always playing catch up, and that's why in my head I always had that like mindset that I got to keep working. I got to keep working no matter what.
Yeah, you said that you train 7 days a week, no off days, and your like your recovery days, your rest days, you're still working out just like lighter pace. It's insane. Yeah. Like I was fucking around with him on the mats downstairs, and I was like gasping for breath and everything.
Brutal.
Now, you said that you're trying to grow this gym, make it a bigger thing, like one of these elite gyms around the country. How do you find guys and recruit guys to come here?
My coach does a really good job. Shout out to Mike Valley. He'll bring guys from. He has a couple guys from like Chile, Mexico that he'll put them in apartments down here, pay for their rent, not do anything but make them come train. He'll be like, you guys want to be a fighter? Like, I'll pay for your food, this, and this. And then just take care of them. He's like a father figure to these guys. One of the guys that we have here, Ignacio Balmundas, he was with them since he was 16 years old, came to America by himself, none of his parents, and he put him in his apartments down the street, built him up, and now he got into the UFC. So now he's 25 years old. He's one of these younger kids who's been doing this since he was a kid. And I tell people, man, like one of the best strikers I've ever gone with in my life. And he's that young, 25. He's already in the UFC. Has a highlight reel that people like wish they would have, like spinning heel kick knockouts, and that's that new generation.
Yeah, you got that 16-year-old now, Raul
Rosas.
Rosas, yeah. I mean, it's absurd. Like, has there been any UFC fighter that's like new age UFC fighter that's came up to you like, I don't know, after a press conference or wherever at the grocery store and be like, hey, I'm fighting because you, like, I started following you. Has that been a thing for you?
Yeah, I've had a couple guys that will message me and tell me that, you know, especially being like Muslim and Arab, I would have those people, you're the one leading the way. You're the one leading the way. And it's cool to see because I used to be that guy. After my first fight in the UFC, I had like Max Holloway come up to me after the fight, like, oh man, great fight. And I was like, Max Holloway, talk to me.
Max Holloway.
Oh my God, yeah. And it was cool. And like my first experience going to a UFC fight, we like snuck down. We went to the MGM Grand and we like snuck down to the cage area. And I was still an amateur fighter. And I'm just like standing there, like looking at the cage, like mesmerized. And then like Uriah Faber like is down there and he walks up. He's like, hey, what's up, man? And I was like, Uriah Faber's talking to me. And I was like, didn't want to get kicked out. So I was like acting all cool. Yeah. But like just those experiences like pushed me to like want to be that type of guy for the younger generation and even like fans that come up to me and talk to me.
That's sweet, man. I have a lot of respect for that because that's kind of Chicago always gets poached, you know. Like if you wanted to be in entertainment, you go to LA, you want to do something big business wise, look at New York. It's hard to people to grab their roots and stay here. So the fact that you're doing here is really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I learned it from my coach. Like I said, Lewis Taylor, he never got his shot in the UFC, but he was a crazy athlete. He had like 10 first-round finishes in a row, but he just never got his moment. And then he ended up going to PFL, winning the $1 million in the first season that they had, and he won it in a 42-second knockout. And he was 42 years old, and he was like a 1,500 underdog, and nobody expected him to win that fight. But he stayed in Chicago the whole time. We literally trained with him he had probably like 3 guys that he built up on his own. So me seeing how he did it and seeing where he made it and like his happiness from it, like it made me want to do the same thing.
Yeah. And you're a big Bears fan, a big just Chicago sports fan, right?
Yeah, Bears and Bulls are like my biggest ones. Yeah.
Big ones. You know what I was thinking about too, going over? It's like the rise of UFC. At what point does it pop into the 4 major sports?
I've wondered that since I've started
Do
following.
you think it's got a possibility? I genuinely think they do. Like, because we watch a fight and you see all the stars outside the cage and everything. Like the amount of people who know who you guys are and what's going on is
You're
like
celebs.
just getting bigger and bigger by the years.
It's literally. I was just telling him about it. It was like Joe Burrow's like messaging me after my last fight. Oh, congratulations, man! When's the next fight? And I got like Mercedes Lewis commenting on my post. Oh, Mercedes Lewis, hey, what? It's cool because like I'm always a fan of those sports. I always used to watch those sports all the time. Now I'm getting those guys being a fan of me is like epic.
Yeah, sweet.
And I mean, you guys are selling out arenas every single weekend.
Yeah.
Most weekends, I should say. Did you fight on Fight Island at all?
No, I never fought on
You
Fight
never
Island.
fought?
I fought in
I was
Abu
always
Dhabi
wondering-
when it wasn't the Fight Island,
Yeah.
but I fought there a couple of times. Yeah.
Because I was always wondering what it was like to be like the actual. Was it guarded like Fort Knox guys with like assault rifles? Like, do you have COVID? Can't come.
Yeah.
But so you kind of had a little bit of a atypical upbringing. I was trying to dig for your first few fights. A couple of them were harder to find. But fast forward to it was 2019 that you fought Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
So you fought Leon Edwards in 2019, who's the current champion in the welterweight division. Declared no contest, pokes you in the eye. And then so
That was
fast.
nasty. That was a nasty. That was a nasty.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Yeah. But fast forward, you might be fighting him in a couple weeks. Now he's been kind of like the good guy of UFC since he beat Usman. Like everybody loves his story and everything. Would that make it harder to fight him or harder to fight someone you dislike like Colby Covington?
No, I dislike both. Like I don't like Leon Edwards, especially just the way that it happened. Like being a man for myself to have like a no contest and me calling for the rematch, and I took that fight on short notice. And just like out of respect, I would be like, all right, well let's run it back then.
Right
like,
now, right?
Yeah, let's go, let's do it again. Especially because he committed the foul, but he played it off like, oh well, I would have won anyway. I didn't want that fight, yada yada yada. So just the way he plays it off, and he's kind of like a dork. Like he doesn't bring attention to the division. Like he's quiet. He doesn't tweet out.
That's what I meant when I was saying that. Right.
Yeah, he's not like loud for the division at all. And
Probably wouldn't kick bloggers in the leg if they asked him.
Probably wouldn't. Right.
Yeah, but it's like for me, I want our division to be the best division. I want people who want to. When's the welterweight title on the line? Like nobody cares when he's about to fight because he doesn't care. Like it's just weird. But I would definitely want that fight back more than anything, more than Colby, just because right now I have a 10-fight winning streak. He has a 12-fight winning streak. So we have the 2 longest winning streaks in the welterweight division. And he just beat Usman, a guy who was on a huge streak before that. So like, I wanted to be the guy to beat Usman. So he beat him. And I just think that Colby's just like an easier fight. Like people give him a lot of credit and stuff like that, but he's still 2-3 out of his last 5 fights. So he's
Was
not,
it Rogan you were saying that on?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, where he's not that good. Yeah, I think real fighters know he's not that good. The fans will hype him up just because he talks trash and things like that, and they want to see him talk. But just because you talk doesn't mean like you're technically good.
For sure, I mean, whether you like him or not, he has done a good job promoting himself.
No, I mean, you can promote yourself all day, yeah, for sure. But it's like when you're getting 3 title fights out of your last 5, I get it. I don't even really think it has to do with promotion. I think it just has to do with like, you probably suck somebody off in the back at the UFC. I don't know.
Who would it be? Who's on the receiving end of that? You don't got to answer that one. But yeah, you would be the one trying to take the title from Leon Edwards, but so it's not going to be in Chicago. But when is UFC coming back to Chicago?
I don't know. I literally ask that question all the time. I think Chicago's one of those cities where the fans love the sports, and I think every time they came here, it's sold out.
Oh yeah,
It has to be. It has to be.
And we were just in Boston, and I said, man, the crowd over there was nuts. They were going crazy. They were there for the first fight, and I was like, Chicago's probably even better than that, 100%. I just think for Chicago, they have a lot of issues dealing with the commission out here, and I think the old mayor and stuff like that always made it issues coming for them. But I'm hoping now that we have a lot of Chicago fighters that are at the top right now. Me, Juliana Pena, Jamal Hill's from Chicago.
Right.
Our
Curtis has always been up there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Fans are always going to want to watch.
You're always going to want to see those guys.
And Chicago always comes out to support their own.
Yeah, absolutely do.
Yeah.
Absolutely do. I got this thing I want to do with all the Chicago athletes that that are from here, and like get them in the same bar together and just like lob them. Like I don't even have to be there. I would just want to see what they talk about. Like all sports combined, like Cole Kmet, you, whoever else.
Yeah.
But so behind the scenes, like we as fans, we see all the shit talk, all the the parading around, and when. Like, how long does it take to actually sign a dotted line for a UFC contract, especially for a title fight, which you should be hopefully in, February, March, April next year? Is it like 6-8 months like I assume it is, or is it just like fucking put it in front of my face, lock it up, let's do it?
I mean, for me, timing is like everything. So even before my last fight, I was sitting in limbo, like wondering who am I going to fight, because I was on a 9-fight winning streak, still wondering They had a title fight booked. They said Kobe was going to get it, but then I still didn't know who I was going to get. And then they offered me Gilbert Burns at 3 weeks' notice. And I was in Canada at a charity event, and I was like, no, it's not really worth it. What am I going to gain from? Why would I want to risk my 9-fight winning streak, take a fight on 3 weeks' notice?
Right.
Then they guarantee me, you win this, you'll get a title fight. So then that's all I really needed to hear. Like there was no negotiation or anything like that after that. I was just like, all right, let's go. So now getting that guarantee, now there's no like stuck in limbo. Now it's like, all right, whenever they book the Kobe and Leon fight, then I'll know after that, probably within 5 months, that I'll probably be fighting.
Who is it that guarantees it to? Is that straight from the horse's mouth, Dana?
Yeah, that was straight from Dana. Yeah, I got that
Okay.
text message, and I was just like, that's all I needed to hear. Like,
Cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome how that works.
yeah, because it was one of those things. The co-main event for that fight card got pulled off, and then they were talking about it, and I tweeted out, I was like, let me fight Kobe on that card, and they were like, well, Kobe doesn't want to fight, but we got Gilbert Burns that wants to fight, and then I was like, Gilbert Burns just beat Masvidal. He didn't take no damage in that fight. He's obviously in shape. I was like, the risk to reward wasn't there for me yet, because I was like, what am I going to do it for? There's nothing to gain.
Yeah.
Until
But then
Yeah.
they guarantee you the title fight off of that. It's like, all right, well, that's what I've been working for.
and you whooped his ass.
Yeah.
anyways.
Right. What's a 21-day camp like?
I mean, it was a lot of like weight cutting. So for me, I was like big. Like I said, I was in Toronto. I was eating poutine, and I was sitting there like, man.
gravy and shit.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like, God dang it, what's the scale looking like? And I had to bring in a nutritionist, flew him in from Bali, and it was just, you don't want to beat yourself up in 21 days. It just studying your opponent, getting right into just like getting your timing right, because I know you can't really game plan that much for that quick of a camp. So it's like, I know how to fight, and I knew that. I always watch fights in general, so I always pay attention to the guys at the top, and I knew that for me, stylistically, Gilbert Burns was an easier fight, and I liked the matchup. But the hardest thing was just knowing that I would need to be in shape, and it was going to be 5 rounds, and I had to make weight. I knew I had to make weight. That was the biggest key, and that was like probably the hardest thing for me to do.
When you said you had that interaction with Dana, is it just accepted that his word is good as gold? Like if he texts that, like great, like I don't need a contract guaranteeing that. It's just like, what if he says it, it's going to happen?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, exactly. It was like, that's all I needed to hear, because I had a meeting with him before that. After beating Sean Brady, I was sitting there and I was like, who's next? And then I asked him, I was like, bro, I think I deserve the title shot. And he's like, I think we just need that one more fight. And I was like, what is that one more fight? And he was like, I don't know. We just got to wait and see. And I thought it was going to be Kamaru Usman. And I was like waiting for that one to happen. But then this Gilbert Burns one popped up. And I was like, all right, I got to take it. Like the opportunity knocked, and I just had to walk through the door type thing.
What do you? So we obviously talked a little bit about Edwards and Colby. What do you think? Where's he at now after those 2 fights? Like
Usman?
Yeah, like
He's stuck in limbo, right? Because he's beat a lot of the guys at the top, and he's still at that point where if I beat Leon and I get the title, like he could swoop right in and get a title shot, because a lot of people looked at him like he was one of the best welterweights to ever do it.
Yeah.
So you lose to Leon twice, but you beat Kobe twice. So it's like, if Leon stays champion, you're probably not going to get another shot. But if there's a new champion, then it's like, all right, now I can work my way in and get that shot just because my name is big enough.
Yeah. So he's in the Belal Muhammad
Yeah,
business
he's
too a
rooting
little
for you
bit.
too then.
Yeah, no, 100%. And
Yeah.
like, even when he calls out, he was calling out Wonder Boy, and he didn't call me out. So I think he knows it in general, where he said, I think he deserves a title shot, because he knows that stylistically I'll beat Leon, and that gives him the opportunity to come in and fight me, because we never fought before.
Do you get a little bored sitting around waiting for when that fight's going to come? Like how do you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get impatient. I get very impatient, but and I'll be like, you know what? Let me just call my manager and see if I can get a fight. Because I'm always training. I'm always in a workout room, but my coaches, my team around me are the ones that are like,
Don't do
dude,
it.
shut
Yeah,
your mouth.
don't.
Like, even I was like talking with Khabib Nurmagomedov, and he was like telling me like, this is going to be the longest thing you have to be patient for. Even for me, before I got my title fight, it was the longest wait. So just know it's gonna be a long wait.
Yeah.
So just keep getting better, keep training. And for me now, I know all I got to do is train for 2 guys, right? It's either gonna be Kobe or Leon. So now you're gonna give me a full year to train for those specific guys. It's like I'm only gonna perfect it, and I'm only gonna it's like it's gonna be worse for them the longer it takes.
Dude, what's that like? A conversation with Khabib? Is he just like the most intense, serious guy ever?
Honestly, he's like the funniest guy. Like,
Really?
he's so
Really?
chill. Yeah, yeah. When you talk to
Western Russian, like crazy person wrestling bears.
yeah, he's so cool though. Like when you're in there and you're in that group and like you just see him talking, you're just like chilling with them. And a lot of the guys in his group don't even speak English. So like when I'm in that group, he's the only one talking to me. So it's just funny to see how he is because people like expect it to be a certain way. And you're like,
Yeah, dude.
what the heck? Like he's the funniest guy.
So
Why don't you show
think
that
of
side of
him
yourself?
like we think of all of you guys.
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I thought it was at first when I first started being there. And then, getting to know him and just like chilling with him. And like they brought me out like right after my fight. They called me the week after my fight because his cousin was fighting 2 weeks after that. He's like, hey, brother, could you come and help him train? I was like, bro, I just fought. He's like, oh, okay. But I'm like, man, you can't say no to Khabib.
I don't know,
to.
dude.
Yeah. So I went there and it was
you
cool.
went to his compound and everything?
They train at AKA. So
Okay.
training over there, I went down there and, they put me in a hotel room. Like he literally bought me groceries and took care of me the whole time I was there. So like, he's the man.
Yeah. But is there like little things that are different in a Khabib camp like that? Or is it?
Yeah. I mean, like they're intense. They're another level. Like I said, we're sitting there. We have like a hard session in the morning, and then at night, like these assault bikes right here, like they're going a full 30-minute workout, like burnout on there. And it's like you're hopping on there, you have to keep it at 27 miles per hour, then you hop off, and then Khabib's trying to wrestle with you, and you have to like defend his takedowns. And then I'm getting back on the bike right after that minute, and then I was like, he's like, come on, you don't want to lose this fight. I was like, bro, I just fought. What are you talking about? Like, this is supposed to be my celebration. I'm here to help your guy out. But he's like pushing you, and it just like makes you better. And I think a lot of the stuff that he does is like mentally pushes you, where he'll break a lot of guys. And a lot of guys will come to that practice. They'll take that selfie picture with him. Like, oh, I got to train with Khabib, but they won't show up again.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like,
That's it.
That's kind of how I feel.
yeah,
exactly.
I'm not coming back here.
You took
again.
those little kicks. You're like, yeah, I'm not coming back.
I'll watch
here
it
no
from
more.
the comfort of my couch from now on. Yeah.
That's it. No,
Check
dude,
in.
that's
It's nice
so
and
sweet.
stiffened up right now.
Mine was like pulsating. It's pulsating. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how it is after you like practice with them. Your body's
Yeah.
beat up, and you're like, man, I feel so sore. And they're like, yeah, you don't have to come to practice if you don't want to. And I'm like, I'm gonna come to
got
practice.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to. And it's
Yeah.
like, because he's like the Michael Jordan, or LeBron James of to me of the UFC.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
I get to train and learn from the Michael Jordan of my era. It's like I can't pass up that
You have to.
opportunity.
Yeah.
You think he'll do one more?
I don't think he will. I think that maybe a grappling match or anything, but like he does so much. And even with him when he's like stopped cornering, because it's like when he goes to corner somebody in a certain town or something, he has to do so much stuff. Everybody wants, yo, we have this appearance. Could you do this? Could you do this? Could you do this? And I think he just likes to just chill. He likes to relax. I think that time I was out there for 2 weeks with him in California, and like he's like, I just want to be able to sit in a Starbucks and not have to do a million things. I just want to chill with you guys. And it's like they're playing FIFA all the time, and like you see a different side of them that like you're not seeing on the camera.
Yeah.
He wants to be
They're
one of the
humanized.
fellas.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
One of the
Hey,
boys.
Yeah.
speaking of fellas, I assume we're all fellas right now, right? Do you need 3 short, overweight internet guys to be in your entourage for your title fight?
Hey,
Because I will volunteer. Just saying.
there's always room. Yeah.
There's always- Who do you get like do you watch every Saturday card?
Yeah, I'm watching probably every Saturday. Yeah.
So who do you get juiced up to watch?
I think Israel Adesanya is one of the guys
Yeah.
I love to watch. Max Holloway.
Yeah.
I love
he's
watching
so
it.
fucking fun.
Yeah, like those guys are like the best guys, and then, like I just like love learning from like the smaller guys. Like they're so exciting too. Like Corey Sandhagen, Sean O'Malley, he's good. Aljamain Sterling, like those guys, because they're good everywhere. Like, with the heavyweights, it's gonna be like a bar brawl, right?
Right.
It's like I land one, but like I think the lighter weight classes, you see more technique, you see more game planning strategy from those guys, and I love seeing strategies.
How much do you strategize, like being in the media and on the press? Is that something that you like actively think about? Like, because you're clearly a talker, and there's other guys you said that bore you.
Yeah.
So is that something like you think about, where you're like, my way to a title fight might be being more vocal publicly?
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
think, especially nowadays with the social media era, it's like you fight and then there's another fight next week. There's a fight after that.
Yeah.
There's a fight after that. So like your fight's already forgotten 2 weeks later. So it's like you have to stay in the public eye in certain ways. And the ways of doing that nowadays is either like trash talking or tweeting out something or saying stuff that's, may go against the grain, but it's like got people talking about you,
Yeah.
right?
It seems like Dana I don't know if like directs you guys the right word, but it seems like it doesn't matter what your political, like he lets it rip. Like,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
there's no like, oh, don't say that, you'll get canned. Like Sean Strickland, you brought him
Yeah.
up earlier. He's a dickhead, but
No.
like he's a good example of that. Like he just says whatever he wants and then he goes and fights, you know? And I appreciate that as a fan.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like he's giving you the free will to say whatever you want, right? There's nothing in there where he's gonna be like, wait, this guy said that or that guy said
Yeah.
that. So that's like the fun part about it. But then it's also like where you have the morons that'll say the most outrageous stuff, and it's like cornier stuff too.
Right.
Where you have like a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that Kobe's does is like corny and it's like written and it's scripted. The best era was like when even McGregor, when he was at his best, when he was like just witty, snapped it off,
Yeah.
came with the best stuff. But nowadays, I think he just like fell off.
knows that.
and people are trying to
Yeah.
force it so much.
Yeah, you brought up Colby. Like every time I've watched him interview, it just comes off as like cringeworthy. Like there's good trash talk, and it's like,
Yeah.
ooh, like, you know, and him, it's just like, ew, like,
Yeah, I've
it's
literally
not
like
good.
I've met like fighters that seen him at like press conferences where he has like a full script written down and he's like straining it to himself, and I was
That's
just like,
exactly what it comes
it's
off
weird,
as.
yeah.
And I never knew that or heard that until you just brought it up.
yeah, and that, like, for me, like I wouldn't even want that. Like I'd rather have it where it's like locker room talk, back and forth, something like that. That's the
Trash
funnest way
talk,
to do
yeah.
it. Yeah, trash talk.
The fellas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think this was on Rogan because I've listened to you when you were on Rogan, but you were saying that like if Leon Edwards just got knocked out, like you were taking a piss or something, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, like don't. He's like, I'm taking a piss. Like I'm not going to dance on the guy's grave.
Strickland got knocked out.
It
Yeah,
was at Strickland.
Yeah.
And then you're like Colby Covington. If I want, like I'm grave dancing.
yeah.
So that's why I want to bring up like, would you rather fight the guy you want to dance on his fucking grave, or get the title? Obviously, you want the title, but
yeah.
so I guess we can kind of wrap it up there. I got a couple of word association questions, if you'll
Take us away, David.
oblige.
For sure.
The
Take
state
us
of New
away.
Jersey.
Trash.
Thank you. Dana White.
The man.
Colby Covington.
White trash.
Leon Edwards.
Scared.
There you go. All right. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's last name. Fedor Emelianenko.
Emelianenko?
Yeah.
Legend.
Legend.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on, bro.
I mean,
Fucking
I
Fedor,
love that. And then
bro.
Belal Muhammad.
And new.
I knew.
There you go.
I like that. What about these two guys? Their leg kicking
tough.
ability. No.
Tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, nails.
I like
fucking
Tough,
nails.
tough. So yeah, like I said, that video is going to be out
Stupid.
tomorrow on the YouTube. Tune in for that. Bilal, thanks for having us out, dude. We
Yeah,
appreciate
this
it.
is awesome.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you
I
guys,
can't
man.
wait to see you get a shot at the title.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
gonna
be.
awesome.
We're Bilal guys now.
Appreciate you guys, man.
Anything you want to get out there over here?
Chicago, you guys got
That's
yourself
it.
a fighter, another champion coming up, man. Start hopping on the bandwagon now.
What's your social? What's your podcast called?
Bully B170 on Instagram, Twitter, podcast. Remember the show every Thursday night.
Beautiful. Thanks, Bilal.
Thank you guys.
All right. So shout out to Bilal. What-
Good dude.
Yeah, great guy. Chief, Notre Dame, like not much of a look.
I'd like to
I
turn the
disagree.
floor over to White Sox Dave to talk about Notre Dame for a second.
I watched half of that game. That's the best Notre Dame team that I think I've seen
Wow.
in 10 years.
Did you feel that way though? Because
Yeah,
you're watching
that
them
team
every week.
looked. I mean, granted, Navy's.
That's what I mean. Not much
good.
of a look.
Yeah.
Right. No,
I thought that they looked
but like
clean,
here's the difference.
fundamental.
Yeah, I
Fucking
think
quarterback.
it'll be the best offense that they've ever had in my lifetime. So they were already going to be one of the top running teams in the country. They got two guys that are going to be first round picks as tackles with Fisher and Joe Alt. They have probably two NFL guys on the interior of the offensive line. They have a stable of running backs. That has been their MO. Like run the damn ball. That was Tommy Reese, 3 tight ends, just knock the shit out of everybody. But they've never been able to win because of the quarterback. So when they had that offense, they had historically, because the quarterback position was always such an issue. If Estime fumbled or you had a tip ball that was intercepted and you were playing one of those big teams, you felt like the game was over. Now you don't. Like Hartman looks so good again against Navy, but you felt like he was a guy like they're going to win a couple games that maybe they shouldn't because they have that quarterback. Yeah. And there were even times like when they would have those undefeated seasons where they would have games where they would just have kind of stinkers and it'd be a slog. And it's like, holy, and like they beat Navy by like I think that was a tight game last year. So I'll pull that up right now. so it's just like they're going to have an element to their offense, and teams would load up in the box against them. You know, they would load up, and Notre Dame would still just try to go 3, 4, 5 yards at a time and try to hit people with play action. And really, it was just Michael Mayer. Now they're going to have a guy who can throw the ball to the outside, hit guys accurately down the field. Then that's just going to open up the running game. Yeah, there you go. They only beat Navy by 3 points last year. Now Navy did have a better second half, but it turned into a sweat. And I think of so many games like that.
They lost to Marshall.
Yeah, and it was because
was it Toledo? I was watching the game in Sox.
The Toledo game was very tight too, and it's because so it's like if you get down, it doesn't matter who it's to. If you get down and you can't throw the ball, like it's going to be an uphill fight.
Yeah,
they're going to be able to throw the ball, and no one's going to be able to stop them running the ball.
Did you say you watched them at all?
I watched a little bit of it. I was at that wedding.
Yeah,
so
I watched the first half. You didn't need to watch the second half, but I was like, that's Notre Dame's for real.
Yeah.
Every time I looked up,
and
just
even in the years that they gotten smoked by Clemson or whoever, I never thought those teams were playoff actually as good as the other. This team's different, I think. I mean, that can change next week or this Saturday.
Well, they got Tennessee State at home.
Okay, never
that's
mind.
not going to be that game.
Yeah,
but last year they lost that game 16-14 to Stanford. That will be impossible with Sam Hartman. Impossible for them to only have 2 touchdowns in a game because they're just going to be Stanford. They're a team that runs the ball, shortens the game, bows their necks. They can make it a fight because Notre Dame was never able to throw the ball. Now they're able to throw the ball. It feels different. And then all the reports during fall camp were like, well, the passing game's not really coming together. Their leading receiver is Chris Tyree, the returning receiver. Chris Tyree is a converted running back who's playing in the slot now. So it's like there's a lot of question marks in the passing game. Everybody looked awesome. They had the guy Greathouse. He's a freshman out of Texas. He looked like a stud. He had 2 touchdowns, I think, at least 1, maybe 2. And they just look different throwing the ball, better than they've ever looked in my life. And it's all because of Hartman. So I think that they're gonna be in every game. And like the Ohio State game, last year, where that was a fight. They lost 21-10, but it was like once Ohio State scored that last touchdown, it was like there might have been 10 minutes to go in the game, but you knew a 2-score game for Notre Dame is impossible. Now it's not. So I think there's teeing up. I'm a little bit worried about not being able to get after the quarterback.
Let's take a look
on
at
defense.
Are you ready to hit the click remote past these next 2 and just get to the big one?
Yeah, I think NC State. They're
true.
a good program.
They'll be respectable.
But yeah, I don't like that they have. This is probably it's both probably the hardest schedule they've had in a while because they have 3 teams in the preseason top 10 with SC, Ohio State, and Clemson. But I hate that they're playing Central Michigan and Tennessee State.
Yeah.
Give me if you want to play you don't want to have all top 25 teams, at least, no offense, put Northwestern on the schedule. Put Wake Forest, those type, the academic.
Well, if you're going to go Tennessee State, what about North Dakota State,
Well, I think part of the Tennessee State thing was that they wanted an HBCU.
Oh, I didn't know they were. Okay.
Yeah. Which I didn't know that either, actually. But I think that was part of the reasoning, which is fine, I guess. But they shouldn't. They played Miami, Ohio recently. They shouldn't play Central Michigan. They should play. Put somebody a power.
But you need those sprinkled in. I mean, Marshall just fucking cleaned their clock.
Yeah, they shouldn't play March. But that's again.
But everyone plays a school like that.
But that was always different with Notre Dame. They never used to do that. That was something that just happened.
Seeing Tennessee State shocked me. I did not know they had that on the schedule.
They started having those types of games on the schedule the second half of the Brian Kelly era. That's when that started. Before that, they never.
Let the boys breathe.
Yeah. Well, put Georgia Tech. I don't mind having some of these having a lower level Power 5 on there, Purdue, whoever. But
Boston College.
BC's in the ACC, so they get in that rotation anyways. But exactly, somebody that or you should beat 95 out of 100 times, but they're not they're still recruiting the similar kid. They should be in. I don't know. It bothers me.
Central Michigan's fine to me because it's also Midwest.
They shouldn't play a MAC school. Notre Dame shouldn't play a MAC school. Let Michigan State play Central Michigan.
But every other school plays a D1 AA school.
They do.
At least they're still D1.
I agree, and Notre Dame always gets shit for like, oh, they don't play anybody. They always have a tough schedule. Alabama and the SEC schools playing
Citadel and like fucking
they play them like
November.
week 13. Yeah, like right before, like that always
been the worst,
yeah.
I agree with that.
But I don't know. I'm excited. I am excited. I'm just see him at home. Like I saw a clip on somebody's Instagram story of Declan's for the Notre Dame Navy game. It was a bigger zoo than I have ever seen at Declan's.
Yeah,
like people doing like lifting the girls up, doing push-ups, like how they do at Notre Dame Stadium. Like they're doing that. Like it was fucking insane. Like I texted our guy Dave Miller about it. He's like, yeah, I hope it's like this all year. Like the hype.
You want to
like
go to Declan's on Saturday?
It almost looked like too much of a zoo for me. But yeah, I do.
I'll see you there.
more Notre Dame grads in Chicago at the moment.
I really think that there is like this buzz that
can I be honest with you? In a great spot. I think that's just the new reality of Wells Street.
Oh yeah.
But
But it was
the whole street is a zoo now.
But I will say that
other
I knew
neighborhoods that died
whose Instagram story it was that I saw. Person's 28, so not like the 23-year-old that I feel like it. Well, Wells Street typically is. Declan's might be the last like stronghold for.
I think it might be. Yeah.
It's a great bar. My favorite.
And Uproar. Don't forget about Uproar. Don't want to get yelled at.
And to stay in football, obviously, Bears made their final roster.
They had a lot of moves today while you were coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw them.
I was in a meeting all day, so I did not.
So go ahead.
What do we got?
Travis Gibson cut.
Well, that's the main one I had here.
Yeah.
That's really the only kind of surprising one.
So
Travis Gibson, I know he didn't fit the scheme, and maybe there was more going on. Like there was that trade request, and he denied it. I saw, but I don't know. I liked him. I thought he was a good guy in the front four.
Yeah, I liked him. I thought and then they also cut that Terrell Lewis, who, like, it was between Gibson and Lewis, and they kept Gibson, or they kept Lewis rather. And Lewis had like 3 sacks in the preseason, looked like a good player. He had played at Alabama, was hurt all the time at Alabama, turned pro after his junior year. Who knows why? But I thought he looked like a good player. They cut him too and picked up Khalid Kareem from the Colts, who was a Notre Dame guy. And he was always a guy like, he was probably on, I think he was on one of the teams that made the playoff, and he was like he started 13 games, and he was always a guy that got like super hyped, like, oh, like this guy's a freak, he's a great athlete, he's a pro. And then like he never like had like a ton of production in college. Like I think his last year there, there you go. And Quindell Johnson. So, it's and they made the trade for Feeney too.
That's a big thing.
Another local boy.
Yeah,
love that. They got 6 of them now.
And he's like the best guy to root for in bowl. It's just drinks beer, Sandberg guy.
Big, great mustache.
That's always been a guy where even when he was with the Chargers, when I was like, man, I'd love for him to be on the Bears.
No, he's here.
I was very happy to see.
And it fills a hole.
Who's his wife again?
No, you're thinking of Kendall Coyne Schofield.
That's who I was thinking of.
That was on the Bears last year. He's no longer with. I don't think he's in the NFL
Riley
anymore.
Rife, you're thinking of?
No, I was thinking of.
No, that was what was his name?
No, that was it.
It was Schofield.
Brandon
Schofield, yeah.
That's what I just said.
Sorry,
so I said Kendall Coyne because he asked who the wife was.
Yeah.
And she's like the best women's hockey player.
Berkshire grad.
There you go.
Yeah, she followed. That was the pipeline. Started with me.
Sorry, yeah.
Kendall Coyne followed in my footsteps, and then she won an Olympic gold medal. So I basically won an Olympic gold medal.
But yeah, besides that, I mean, next week's the real week.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get Big Cat in here and do the schedule. But
we got one other guy to talk about.
Yeah.
Bears signed that was it Bennett? It's basically like your boy Velus Jones is going to get cut today.
I mean,
your boy.
He made. He's not my boy.
He's
I just
your
said
boy.
I think he'd make the roster, and you got. I mean, you're the one who's got to eat your words. He's not cut yet.
They signed a guy. They kept 5 receivers plus Velus Jones.
Okay.
They just signed a punt return specialist.
You said he wouldn't make the first cut.
He's not going to be on the opening day roster.
All right, we'll see.
No, he's not.
This isn't up to date.
I want to make sure I got the guy's name right. It's not pulling up.
God, look at this guy. This guy just like he's got nothing to go off. He's just humming and hawing.
Trent Taylor.
Do you like to hem and haw?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes
he haws at times.
Who doesn't?
I like to haw here and there.
besides that too, I mean, it sounds like everyone's healthy besides Tevin Jenkins. So
Well, and that's why you make the trade probably.
yeah.
So that was a couple hours ago. Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully,
Jones is gone.
Led the league in punt returns over 20 yards last year. Guy's a weapon.
we like that.
Doesn't muff punts.
We like that.
Yep.
All right then. Besides that, monster win. We're recording this on a Wednesday. Monster win for the Cubs on Tuesday.
Huge.
Steel, balls of steel.
Dude, I was so
So
nervous.
they did
1-0, right?
Yeah,
One
1-0.
zip, yep.
And he took a liner off his thigh, looked like a Belal Muhammad type comebacker off his right off of like where we got kicked. And
Yeah, hope
that
you're
was-
right.
I think
That's
that
a
was in,
flesh
like-
wound.
Yeah, but it was in like the second inning, and they brought the trainers out, and I was like, oh fuck, like they need this game. And here's the ace, and he's gonna get knocked out early in the game, and he just rallied and then threw a shutout.
Yeah, he's probably going to win the Cy Young. Go fucking figure, right?
Where they find him?
Who fucking knows?
They're good at finding guys.
Yeah.
Do you think the Cubs should pick up Giolito since they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Why
probably should.
wouldn't they?
I agree.
At very worst, you're getting a ton of innings out of him. He's never hurt. He's
Yep.
been bad with LA, though. I watched him the other night. Trey Turner hit 2 bombs. I said it in a group text. I'm like, because that just happened to be on TV because ESPN was the last thing I was watching the night before. So I flip it on. It was Phillies versus Angels. Giolito's pitching, and like, there couldn't be a worse matchup in baseball than Lucas Giolito versus Bryce Harper. And I was in a group chat. I'm like, Harper's about to hit one to the moon tonight off Giolito. And sure enough, a couple innings later, he hit a ball. I don't think it was like more than 10 feet off the ground. It was 111 off the bat, 440 or something, just an absolute missile. And I didn't fucking bet it.
Should have.
I didn't fucking bet it.
They I don't know. I
But
feel
he's
like
been bad. But he's
been.
been bad for the Angels. Like at 9 ERA and like 7 starts.
Oh,
or
I
some
thought I
shit.
looked it up last night. It didn't look that bad.
Look it up.
Okay.
It was over. It was 8-8 or something for a while. I haven't looked it up.
Well, his first start was like atrocious, but I feel like he's been like okay since then.
What a move by them, man.
The Angels.
Dumping everyone.
That happens. So, like there's Clevenger's on waivers right now. Like this happens so frequently that.
What's the definition?
But this is like egregious. This is bad.
Yeah, this is like over the top.
Yeah, they have to do something about this in the next CBA. Otherwise, teams are just gonna like dump these guys. And
he's got an ERA of almost 7 with the Angels.
Okay.
But it looks like it was two
he only gave up.
two very bad starts.
He only gave up the 3 bombs against the Phillies, and other than that, it was like he was pitching well.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And like, could he? They have some. That's like my worry about the Cubs. They have a lot of guys where you just don't really trust. Like even Hendricks is going. You don't
Right.
fully. It's really just Steele.
Yeah,
like
that's it.
Tyon, like he struggled out of the gate. Game 1 of that series, I was at that game. My that's another thing I got to think about. My record at Wrigley Field this year is bad. So that was a personal record, game 14 for me on Monday night. I think my record is like 5-9.
Some years
going.
it's just weird like that.
Takeaways, tickets.
That's what I mean. Like maybe I
Yeah.
should just sit out September.
I think you should enjoy yourself and go and enjoy the friendly confines of Wrigley Field.
We'll see today, though. I mean, obviously we're recording at the moment, but Hendricks,
Yeah,
Woodruff.
it's about to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'll see, man. I mean, we win this. This is monster series, as everyone keeps
Yeah.
saying.
We should shout out Jordan Wicks. Looks fucking awesome in
Yeah.
his debut too. 9 Ks over I think 5 innings, and he like gave up a bomb and then maybe a walk to start his, and then they came out and like met with him. And they're like, hey, like you're fine, like you're missing, but not by much. And then he just like settled and just started striking out. I think he struck out like 6 guys in a row.
You like seeing a young guy do that, Dave?
Yeah.
I love the glasses too. Now they got 2 glasses guys.
I was never a glasses guy on the baseball field.
No?
No. Not
Well, you got fire
pitching.
pilot vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not pitching.
We got the little Wild Thing Vaughn action going though.
I did like Gagne though. Did you like Gagne?
He was
yeah.
such a
Who didn't
fucking
like
juice
Aaron
head.
Gagne?
Oh, it was the best. He's
was-
one of those guys that like I have no idea what he looks like now. I wouldn't be surprised if he was like 300 pounds of just like overweight.
I wouldn't be surprised. Is he alive? I feel like I have a thing in my head where he might have died.
No, he's alive.
Closers don't get enough respect when it comes to being like front and center, like awesome character, like Bobby Jenks, Eric Gagne. Like you could
Yeah.
make a
Those guys were characters for sure.
Like give me like a closers podcast or like a closer show.
We could
Just have all those guys.
Do you think we could do a Rod Beck, like a relief pitchers draft?
saying.
Could we do a full draft? Could we come up with 25?
We 100% could.
Well, we should seriously consider that, because that's right. Like those guys, it doesn't matter what their record was. Farnsworth, like
They would just go up there throwing 100
Yeah.
and like dare you to hit it.
right.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's when baseball was fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun anymore.
All those guys.
Those guys were, and that was at a time with Gagne where, at least for me, like it had never occurred to me that a pitcher would be juicing. You know, so
yeah. What
like
does he need it for?
Yeah,
He doesn't got to hit it far.
right. So I was just like, this
Did you
guy,
ever see
he's
that-
got to be clean. He's just fucking awesome.
Did you ever see the at bat Gagne versus Bonds at whatever
Billy Wagner.
Safeco or not Safeco, Petco, not Petco. What are the fucking Giant Stadium called?
Pac
AT&T,
Bell.
Pac Bell.
Pac Bell,
I don't know.
AT&T Park. They've changed it a million times.
Yeah, I know. They all do. It's the greatest. Tom or Lance, can you fire that up? Gagne versus Bonds.
We can't.
We can. It's baseball.
Oh yeah. Fuck. It's Bonds hits like 2 balls foul. That went, onto the moon.
That 04 year was just for him. Was it 04 was his big year?
He didn't even qualify for
01?
any of the like batting titles because he didn't have the plate appearances because of all the walks he had or something.
Yeah.
He got on base like 380 times that year and he had like 383 plate appearances or something.
That was the one closer that I always fucking hated. The Giants guy with the beard.
Rob Nen?
No, he was like he was like trying too hard.
Rob
to-
Nen, was it?
Oh, Brian Wilson.
Brian,
Wilson.
yeah.
I fucking hated him. He was a douchebag.
Yeah. He loved it.
Yeah.
Anything White Sox, Dave? About the White Sox?
No, they're an embarrassment. I fucking hate they're losers.
You can sneak guns in with your belly button.
Yeah, so, okay.
It was a
All right.
week.
I'm just going to start running with all these Scoop Cities. So this one kid's been DMing me. I'm not going to shout him out. But he goes, more Scoop City for you, a little late. So it was a teacher that snuck the gun in. A teacher, a CPS teacher.
But they're saying not so fast that maybe that's not what happened.
I don't know. This is what the kid said. And she went through the security 3 times. This is at 10:40. He sent me this. They thought it was a brawl wire. When the gun went off, another teacher from CPS put it in her purse and ran out of the stadium. CPD knew all of this inside minutes. Brandon Johnson wants it covered up because it involves 3 CPS teachers.
Now we're getting fucking
Oh, come on.
White Sox David on.
This
Here,
is
like, this
Get
is
Dante
like-
in here.
Yeah.
White Sox Dante.
I'm not saying this is true or not. I'm saying this was DM'd to me. I think that's if you
Per
give
sources.
it qualifier, then
But
it's
this
fine.
is this
I have
is
no
like
idea
when
if
the
that's
limo
what-
driver was scooping you back in 2014.
Like 2012.
I want to hear who started that she hit it under her fat roll. Like if you're her, just say I hit it under my boob. Fat roll is so much worse.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I need to know I need her to get Plaxicode. She needs to like do time for this. Absolutely.
I mean, she probably, if it is true, because like I said,
this person might not even exist at the same. Like you
CPD's
said.
refuted it again
I saw that
last night.
Yeah.
That they're saying that Peggy Kaczynski's report was not
She's full of shit.
true. That's what they said. If that, whoever it is, they're gonna come after her. You can't bring
Oh,
a
yeah.
fucking gun to
The-
a professional stadium.
But like, how do you catch them now? It was like that was another thing I saw, that it was like, it was not. I feel like it'd be very hard to set up like a for real crime scene inside a stadium while a game is going on. But they fucked it up. Like they're not going to be able to investigate it. Like you can't. Like what are you going to fingerprint the fucking left field bleachers? It's done.
What if you scrape some of that blood off from the peanuts?
They're
Maybe
I don't know. I think they could
DNA
find
tests all the teachers in CPS, right, Dave?
One of their names are out there because they posted on Facebook.
Oh,
yeah.
I did not know this part.
It'll be a little easier to find.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I think your thing is not probably accurate. I think
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying it's funny how this guy's like saying the mayor is in a cover-up. Is that not entertaining? I think
Yeah.
it's kind of funny.
yeah, but it's just so outlandish.
I tend to agree.
Gotham.
probably true.
Yeah. Chief Anon.
Chief, yeah, you're right. Top Chief. That's top
Jesus.
G. Top G. Poor Hannah. All right, then. Anything else that we got to cover before we wrap it up here?
Shout out Tommy Hawk, mascot of the year.
Shout
look
out
at that.
Tommy
Wow.
Hawk.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Oh, and I mean, Benny the Bull retired. I don't think we talked about that yet. The guy who played him for the past couple of years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. New
He
Benny
just,
the Bull
he just
coming
can't
up.
do it anymore?
I always
he's
assumed
getting
it was
old.
kind of just multiple people, like whoever's
Oh,
on.
no.
I knew Tommy Hawk was like just one guy.
Okay.
Like, because when they had the fight, like all the people who work for the Hawks like know who he is.
Should we get Tommy Hawk in that chair?
To sit right there.
Could you
In the-
imagine? Just
in the
Tom
costume?
Hawk. Yeah, that would be my favorite.
I want the Tommy Hawk who fought the fan, dropped the fan.
I think it's still him.
Really?
I think it's still that same guy.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Still
Yeah.
swinging out there in United Center.
Well, I mean, he doesn't start fights, but he ends them.
He
So,
ended that fight.
yeah.
Judo chop. Just
Yeah. Body slam. It's like kind of what I did to Dave.
Yeah. He fucking chiefed that fan.
No, you can rub it in. Have at it. Floor is yours. You can make fun of me all you want for that.
You're just waiting for that 2025 rematch or something. Yeah.
I'm gonna get ya.
Yeah. All right, then. I think that's
One
it.
more thought. I do think Northwestern is going to be a bowl team.
Oh no.
Positivity.
I mean, but next year they're going to be one win team. They'll beat fucking BS High. They'll beat them. Maybe.
Yes, hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are doing a little doc review on that today.
Yeah,
it's go watch it if you feel like wanting to punch your TV because it's an infuriating documentary.
I agree.
Watch that BS High on HBO and then flip over to Dog Walk and you'll hear us three recap it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone has a great Labor Day. Make sure you drink your Miller Lite. And,
Take your 3-chi.
Take your 3-chi.
Mm-hmm.
Wear your Mugsy.
Yeah, wear your Mugsy.
Wear your Roback.
Wear your Roback. Hop in your Chevy. Get your tickets at Game Time.
All of it.
What else are we missing?
Go to the Barstool store.
Go to the Barstool store. That too. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys back on Tuesday.